All right, guys, welcome back. It's me, Daniel, with VintageMagic.com, and I want to talk about the MTG Artists boycott that happened recently. I will put the link below of a gentleman named Mike Lenneman, who basically forwarded a letter that's been sent out to the community in regards to MagicFest for 2019. And apparently 24 artists, Magic artists, have signed this document and no longer will participate for MagicFest for 2019 due to some of the things that they noted. Now, I'm not going to go through the things because I'm going to have you guys read the letter, but I'm going to go through some of my thoughts. And coming from a business side and art side, art lover of, collecting and artist proofs, getting my card signed, etc. I'm trying to be empathetic, but also give you some awareness of what I really think the real problem is. For those of you who know me very well, you guys know I don't beat around the bush very much. So I'm going to get right into exactly what I think the problem is. The problem is the expectations and also the vagueness or the fogginess of the expectations. To the artists, they believe that, hey, we are guests. We used to receive these accommodations, these flights, these hotel stays, food, food vouchers, other type of benefits, right, that they outline. To the Grand Prix circuit tournament organizer, which is now monopolized by Channel Fireball, their idea is, hey, I got to make profit. I got to make money. The artists cut into those profits. Also, how do I maximize and squeeze more profits by charging them more tables and also not giving them additional perks like we used to? So then it becomes a situation where the Channel Fireball team actually treats them as more like vendors. Here's the problem, is it the artists that don't understand that they are vendors now? Or is it Channel Fireball who did not actually convey the information that, hey, you're a vendor now. You're vendors. You've always been a vendor, right? But now we're going to obviously take away some of the perks. I find that part of the debate actually the most important thing. Because clearly, there's a lot of riffraff, obviously a lot of negativity, Channel Fireball, a lot of negativity towards their monopolization. People have complained that the events were not run well. They also feel like the decline of the Grand Prix MagicFest circuit has been going on for a while. And they feel like it's bad for the Grand Prix circuit itself and Magic. I think we need to discuss one important thing here. And coming from collecting side, I go to the Grand Prix not as a pro person, right? And then, I'm not saying as a vendor. I go there to play maybe a side event, a draft, but I go there primarily for the collecting side. I go there for the artists. I go there for the vendors. I go there to meet friends and have dinner with them, play Magic, old school. I go there to just have a great experience overall. But the Grand Prix main event has nothing to do with any of it. Also, I go there to see the world. I travel the world to see different things going on in different countries. It's exciting. It's awesome to meet people that you've met all over the world, to talk to on Skype and social media. The thing is, though, if you take away the artist equation and there's less artists, what happens is you end up losing what the MagicFest really is. It's supposed to be a celebration of what Magic is, the art, the cards, the game, right? The whole flavor of the whole thing. And it doesn't matter if you don't care about the artists or you just go there to play the Grand Prix, whatever you're doing, that's fine, or just socialize. It doesn't matter, but the artists play a really big role into this. And I don't think Channel Fireball actually looked at the impact this could bring. Now, I will say this. For the bigger artists, the ones like Therese, I'd say like tier 1, like basically Therese Nielsen, like a Steve Argyle. People that really get a lot of monetary fan base coming in to visit them, right? These people, they're not going to sign anything because the reality is they understand that there's a win and win for both. They're probably also one of the people that actually get, Channel Fireball just posted, they gave about 500 nights room free last year. And this year, for 2019, they're going to be giving about 1,000 rooms. So I don't think those artists that actually are committed towards the Channel Fireball system are complaining. I'm not sure who else is getting those rooms and such. I would have to assume that maybe Mark Poole, maybe like Dan Frazier, those guys, some of the older vintage artists that are obviously committed and, you know, they're selling products, they're showing up on time, they're doing their jobs, they're treated like as a vendorship, like a vendor, right? So they're going to be treated with maybe some additional rooms. I'm not sure what they negotiated. But some have actually told me, some people have actually told me, Daniel, the people on the list of artists that are complaining are generally newer artists. Artists that basically make little or nothing, right? They could be producing art. And I totally understand this, because if I was a newer artist and I didn't have a lot of like original art, and I didn't have like a lot of big cards that I did before, and I don't have a big worldwide fan base, right? Nostalgia play, you know, that kind of thing, right? It then becomes like, well, I don't really have a lot of product to sell. But the argument comes from the artists is that, hey, we're not artists that are vendors. We're not vendors. We're artists. We are painters. We are there to paint. But in terms of these shows, we're taking time from our painting and we're actually trying to interact with the community. It kind of like a art show mentality, kind of like, you know, they come as they please, they really interact and bond with the community. I think that's the discrepancy of communication. I don't think the people at Channel Fireball are really relaying that information to the vendors in a way where they understand, hey, we're not asking you to be art show people. We're asking you to be vendors that are showing up and, you know, have these time slots. So, you know, there's people at the show that want to sign cards, you know, meet you. We want you to actually be selling products and being involved, like almost like, you know, you see at some of those local art shows or whatever, people selling products. I mean, they want you to be one of those guys. So if you're not actually doing that, Nick, hold on a second. Hold on a second. If you're not doing that, it's a confusing setup because Channel Fireball expects that part. So I see both sides of the tail. I see the tail of the vendor, the Channel Fireball side, and I see the artist side. Now, there's a lot of stuff online that people, even some of the artists have said, you know, this is like exactly why Magic is failing. This is why this is happening. This is wrong, you know, whatever. They want to jump right into the bandwagon, and I totally get it. But you got to look at some of the business facts in the case, what's going on. It's very expensive to fly an artist to Taiwan or China or Japan or other big European and all the hotels, right? All the costs, right? It's hard because if your objective from Channel Fireball, CFB Events, is to make a profit, it makes absolutely no sense to pay all those costs without a set ROI, without a belief that that artist attracts X amount of players and has ROI. And that might be very well the case. They may have not even said that, but they've figured it out. That certain artists, you know, and this is not a knock on the artists, it's truth. Certain artists are tier 1 artists. The Treese Nielsen, you know, factor. If Treese Nielsen comes, or like a John Avon comes, they get more people to sign cards, more players to come because they've done more cards, more iconic things in Magic. So it causes a situation where, hey, you know, that's the best ROI for me as a business. But I think the artists are maybe also looking at, you know, it used to be different. It used to be that we were given these incentives. We were treated as guests. I mean, like it was like multiple, like Cascade Games was there, and Star City Games and other tournament organizers. They might do different processes. Like Star City Games, I know treats the artists very differently. So it kind of infuriates. It makes them upset that, hey, why should we invest our time? You're right. You shouldn't. You shouldn't invest your time in something that isn't giving you the best ROI. And it's about time the artists start looking at their ROI and not assuming that just because you're a Magic artist doesn't mean you're required to have to go to a Magic Fest. If you're not compensated reasonably and for your travel, your time, then you should not go. You should not go. Hold on a second. back. Sorry, guys. The bottom line, I'm gonna wrap this up. Sorry about the interruption. The bottom line of all this is this. The artists now are stepping up to the plate and recognizing their time is more valuable than being required as a magic artist. And they weren't forced, but they don't feel the pressure. Like, hey, you know, I got to do this for the community because I'm a magic artist. But they have families to feed. They have the right to step up to the plate and say, hey, we cannot take time from our family, other work that I could be taking, to do magic shows, and then they feel the benefits to bring in attendance to the Grand Prix, whatever, that CFB is now recognizing them by giving basic stuff like they outlined in the letter about like Comic Cons. They give them, you know, certain accommodations and, you know, like a appearance fee and stuff like that. And that's the beef. The beef is they feel like unless something starts, unless we voice an opinion, unless we start marching, which I understand why they're doing it, nothing will ever change. It's true. Nothing ever does change. Until actually something happens where you say something, you believe in something, like these artists have. I gotta give them this credit. Nothing would have ever changed. And now the awareness is there. Now, Channel Fireball needs to look in the mirror and be like, whoa, from a PR standpoint. And also, who knows how many more artists are gonna sign this document? I have a feeling there's gonna be over 50. I think more, who knows? Because there's a lot of artists who feel the same way. And there's also a lot of artists who don't wanna sign the document, but they believe it too. And they don't wanna risk like being blackballed or, you know, basically say, hey, you know, you basically said something publicly about us, we're not gonna do business with you again. But I bet there's more artists that feel like that than you think. All right, guys, put in the comments below, what do you guys think? Do you think this is a very important topic? I wonder what you guys think. Is this something that is just troubling in the magic community? Is this something that, how can we resolve this? What is the right solution to resolve a problem like this? I want to hear from you guys in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Take care, guys.